Day trading for beginners. That's probably why you're here. You're wondering how to get started as a day trader in the stock market, but you're running into some issues. One being you don't really have any clarity about how to get started, hence why you're here. And you probably also have a little bit of anxiety trying to learn about what exactly to do. And the most important thing about getting started in day trading is getting started the correct way. So in today's video, I'm gonna give you my top 5 things you need to know and acknowledge and understand to get started correctly in the stock market. What's up, guys? Cameron Foose here with Iconic Traders. I have been day trading for the last 14 years, mentoring people for 10, and traveling the world day trading for the last 3. On this channel, we will be giving you all the tips and tricks on how to become a better day trader. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, hit that subscribe button, but let's get to it. So we are here today to learn more about getting started as a day trader for a beginner in the stock market. But, to understand the game of day trading, you first need to understand more so the why about why so many people fail, okay? And there's a statistic out there that about 90% of people that actually try to learn money in the stock market, they fail. But it's actually probably more about 95%. That's something that I would put my guesstimate on after doing this for 14 years, teaching people how to do it. But why does that happen? Why is that number so big? So that would bring me to the number one thing you need to understand about the stock market, how it works, and why so many people fail. So in part 1 of my top 5 things that you need to understand about getting started in the stock market is that there's no regulations for entry into this game. Now, picture yourself at an NBA basketball game. The court is filled with people who are qualified, went through a vast amount of training, and were handpicked by other professionals to exclusively be there. So there's only professionals at this court. Now, think of the stock market, the only people that are winning that 5% are similar to the NBA players making money. They went through all the right processes to get to this elite level, this league where they're actually making money. The other 95%, those are the people in the stands. Now, can the people in the stands just go down to the court and be like, hey coach, put me in. I wanna learn how to do this today, right now. Of course not. That's not feasible. That's not realistic. They're not gonna be able to compete. They're not gonna be able to compete with the people on the court and actually score points or even get close to winning the game. But in the stock market, anybody with a bank account and a social security number can start today and open an account and start trading. So obviously, there is gonna be a huge amount of people that are losing money in the stock market when the barrier of entry, there is no barriers. All you need is a bank account and a social security number to actually get started. And you don't even need a social security number, that's just in the US. Anybody from anywhere in the world can start day trading if they have a Wi-Fi connection, basically. So that's the biggest thing you need to understand first and foremost about why so many people are losing money in the stock market, because there's no regulations holding just anybody off the street to come into the stock market and start day trading on day 1 with no experience whatsoever. So that brings me to the number 2 thing you need to understand about getting started as a day trader in the stock market, and that would be education. Everybody that goes through anything to become an elite level, to become a doctor, lawyer, professional, this is a profession, okay? And in order to become a professional, you have to go through a lot of education and a lot of training. This is no different in the stock market. So you need to learn. That should be your number 1 priority as a day trader, is learn as much as you can. And not just learn anything, you should learn from somebody that you respect, learn from somebody that you look up to, and learn from somebody that you connect on a deeper level than other than just money, okay? And that kind of comes down to the why of why you're actually doing this. So there's various ways to learn how to day trade the stock market. Number 1, where I started was books, okay? This was a long time ago, maybe about 14 years ago when I read my first book. And there's pros and cons of reading books for day trading. Number 1 con would be that day trading is a very, very visual game, and it's a lot easier to learn by watching videos than by reading texts in a book. Because when you're day trading, you're literally looking at a screen, looking at charts, looking at level 2, things happening in real time very, very quickly. So to read a book about day trading in text makes it very difficult to actually learn something practical about day trading. So as far as book recommendations go, I don't really have any big recommendations other than reading a book. I'll give you one recommendation right now, Trading in the Zone, and that's more so about mental clarity and the psychology of which we'll get into later in this video. But as far as learning a strategy from a book, I wouldn't typically recommend it. Number 2 part about learning would be through YouTube, just like you're learning from me right now. YouTube is a beast. It's the number 2 search engine in the world, and it's mostly people searching for how to do something. When people go to YouTube and they're actually using the search option, it's because they're learning or wanting to learn how to do something, and that's exactly what you're doing here. There's a lot of free information out there on YouTube, which is also what I'm providing for you here right now. The biggest con about YouTube is that most people, when they're creating YouTube videos, they do it topic by topic, and that's kind of to actually get the algorithm for people to find exactly what you're searching for. And when we're searching for something specific, you're not getting the full entire program or the actual full entire knowledge or systematic structure of what you're actually trying to learn. So while you can learn a lot of specific little topic things on YouTube, to get an actual full program or full encyclopedia of what you're actually trying to learn, YouTube can have its limits, because then you have to spend a lot of time actually going and searching for all that information and how are you going to piece that together. Number 3 part about education would be finding a mentor, okay? And that's where I come in, okay? That's what I've been doing for the last 10 years. That's who our other head mentor, Michael Spinoza, who is also a former student, that's all we focus on, is mentoring you guys in an actual systemized and formal educational classes, 90 days of what we're doing. Mike is also doing live broadcasts on our YouTube channel here, Mondays through Fridays, so you definitely want to check that out. But the best way to learn would be from somebody who has already been doing it for a long time, consistently, and actually showing, you know, what is actually going on. And that's just put it into a formal package where it's systemized, okay? That's exactly what we have in our 90-day program, month 1, month 2, month 3, all systematically teaching you exactly everything you need to know, A to Z, step-by-step process on how to day trade. So that's the structure, but the downside of that is it costs money. YouTube is free, books cost little money, but they're not visual. YouTube, you have to spend a lot of your own time trying to piece together everything together. Mentorship programs, it's a systemized structure built by professionals. Number 3, now this is kind of the most technical thing that we need to learn, hence why it's called technical analysis. Okay, if you don't know what technical analysis is, this is the study of chart patterns. And at some point, I believe this happened like with candlesticks in like Japan a long time ago, I don't even know, but someone started realizing that in markets, past history started repeating itself, which then they decided maybe we can predict future price action by analyzing everything that's happened in the past and try to recognize these patterns that were precursors to moves that happened, that either moved up or down. And that's basically all technical analysis is a study of past price action to predict future price action. And as more and more people started to adopt this habit, it kind of started turning into a self-fulfilling prophecy of once you see a certain pattern, hence like a breakout pattern, once that actually triggered the breakout, all that meant was that a lot of people were watching that same thing, and that meant a buy signal. So it kind of turned into a self-fulfilling prophecy known as technical analysis. Now, technical analysis is a pretty dry subject matter, okay? There's some basics that you can learn, trend lines, support and resistance. You need to have the fundamental knowledge of technical analysis. You can find out any of this information for free online or through a book. Again, books are a little bit dry. For reading, I would suggest other YouTube videos, or you can find articles online about the basics of technical analysis. I read a book back in like 2006, maybe, by Jack Schwager called Technical Analysis. It's probably still around. It's basically just the most boring book I've ever read, just understanding the chart patterns. But technical analysis is one of the first skill sets that you need to understand to make money in the stock market. And basically what I'm gonna do right now here, guys, is just break down the only skill sets you need and then break down the false beliefs of what you think you need to understand. So number one is technical analysis. Number two is level two. Now, level two is basically just an illustration of the supply and demand of an individual stock. You have the bid and you have the ask. That's basically the buyers and the sellers. Now, there's actually people who have already put orders on both sides of the stock, so you can actually kind of get an idea of where this stock might be going in a very short-term bias in the next seconds, 30 minutes, just by looking at level two. So level two, as a day trader, is probably the most important thing that you need to understand and learn, because you're actually seeing behind the scenes. Everything starts with level two in time and sales, okay? So you're actually seeing the orders being executed, and then you go look at the chart and see what's actually happening on the chart, but it all starts with level two. So level two is definitely something that you need to get a deep and vast knowledge of, because all a stock's movement is supply and demand, and that breaks down to emotion, people's human emotions. So you need to understand both those two things, supply and demand, which is level two, and also understand chart history and chart patterns, and that's technical analysis. The third thing you need to understand is that not all price action is technically real, okay? There are a lot of different chat rooms out there, a lot of different manipulation out there, where you might look at a stock blowing up 50 to 100% in the stock market, and you're like, why is this moving? There's no news, there's nothing, okay? And a lot of times, it's because there's some chat room out there pumping it up who front runs their subscribers and say, hey guys, I'm buying this stock for this reason.
This is it. I'm going over the top right here. I'm buying the market right here, right now, because I know more than anybody.
It could be anything. They don't have to give an explanation, but their followers are dedicated fans. They're like, well, if he's doing it, I'm gonna do it too. But the person who's recommending that stock is typically trying to push price action in their favor so that they can sell into their own following buying into this, because usually they are recommending a stock that's a low float. And that basically means that there's not a lot of shares on the open market. And so they can manipulate it with a small group of people, such as a chat room, that they're actually running. But they're actually manipulating price action, manipulating their subscribers at their own benefit, and maybe a very small portion, if any, of their own subscribers might make money on it. But the most of them are gonna get stuck holding the bag and losing out on the opportunity, or actually being part of the downside where we actually short. Shorting is where you're actually making money when stocks fall down. But now that's something you're gonna learn more into a more in-depth educational process that we teach in our programs. But in day trading, you need to understand that a lot of price action out there is manipulated. So you can only take it with a grain of salt, and it can also manipulate technical analysis. All right, guys, so those are basically the top three skill sets that you need to learn to know how to day trade. That's technical analysis, learning level two in time and sales, and understanding that there's a lot of price action manipulation. Now, a lot of people come to me and be like, Foos, you must be a numbers guy. You day trade the stock market. I'm like, I fucking suck at math. I'm not a numbers guy at all. Once the bill comes for dinner, I'm like, I don't fucking know how to calculate this. Somebody else do this, okay? Like, you don't need to know anything to do with math to understand day trading. This is not a numbers game. This is an intuition game. It's a human psychology game. It's a understanding of pattern recognition game, okay? You don't need to know anything about math to make money in the stock market. The only numbers you need to look at is how much money I made today and how much money I lost today. And then you calculate the profit and loss on that, and hopefully you made some money. In addition to that, you honestly don't need to know anything about finance, stock market, or accounting. A lot of people also, look at me and be like, oh man, you must know a lot about the stock market. You must know a lot about finance. You must know a lot about the economy. You must know a lot about accounting. You must know a lot about looking at the infrastructure of a business and understanding if it's a healthy company or not. I don't know anything about any of that, okay? Because it's unnecessary. Unless you're doing, I don't even know, financial advisor or whatever you want to call it, you don't need to know any of that stuff to understand day trading. All we're trying to do is take advantage of short-term movements in the stock market within the first 90 minutes of the day. And all that is taking advantage of a momentum. And all that is understanding human psychology, and it's understanding why patterns happen and how can we manage the risk when we identify these patterns. So there's a big misconception that you need to know a lot about the stock market, the SEC, finance. I don't know anything about any of that because I've never had to put any time into learning it in the last 14 years of my career because it's been 100% unnecessary. So literally at the end of the day, guys, the only three things you need to know to make money in the stock market is technical analysis, level 2, and understanding that there's a lot of manipulation out there in the stock market. But how do you take advantage of it? How do you take advantage of that manipulation? Most important thing is this, that you understand that it's actually there. So moving on to number 4. Now, in the last one, we just talked about skills, which a lot of people think that's what's gonna make them a bunch of money in the stock market. But I'm here to burst your bubble that your skill set, whatever somebody's secret strategy is, a lot of it's bullshit. It's not bullshit. You know, you need a strategy to make money in the stock market, but those skill sets only account for about 10 to 15% of what you actually need to make money in the stock market. Our trading system, our 90-day program, it's a foolproof system, all right? I guarantee that it's 100% able to make money. But here's what the problem is. Even though that system is foolproof, humans are not, okay? We got fucking brain issues. We got psychology issues. So that brings me up to number 4, which is psychology, trading mindset, okay? And there's a lot of people out there who just sell some course about, hey, follow my secret pattern system, my secret scanners. All that doesn't mean anything if you can't click buy and sell at the exact moment when you need to. And how do you do that? How do you click buy and sell when you exactly need to? When you got fear and greed knocking on both doors and you're frantic, you got anxiety and you're not calm, cool, and collect, okay? You can't. So that's the problem with all those skill sets that I just talked about, which are 100% necessary. If you don't have the mental discipline to actually follow that skill set and follow that strategy, you're never gonna make money. And that's why your trading psychology is literally, at the end of the day, the only thing that's gonna make you money in the stock market. So what does that mean? That means that you have to focus primarily on, as a day trader, reducing external and internal stress in your life. Okay? You have to come to the day trading setup every single day with a calm, cool, and collect head. Whatever happened yesterday, if you had some losses, you have to come to the trading station today ready and prepared, knowing that whatever happened yesterday is gone. Today is a brand new day. You need to clear your mind. If you have a fight with your girlfriend, didn't sleep well, maybe you shouldn't trade that day, okay? Your trading psychology is the number one thing that you have to focus on to make money as a day trader. And that's a misconception that a lot of people don't even think about, okay? I think our program is one of the only programs out there online that actually have a whole 7-hour course dedicated to trading psychology. I don't know any other mentorship program that has that in there. And that's what we do in our final part of our course. After you learn all the skill sets, everything you need to know about day trading, we go 7 hours into our fucking mindset, because that is the number one thing you need to make money day trading. So how do you reduce stress in your life? Just some quick tips would be: 1, obviously working out. Number 2, heat therapy, going to the sauna. I go to the sauna every day. I work out almost every day. 2, 3 would be yoga, okay? Yoga is a great place to get away from your phone. Even when I go to the gym, what am I doing? I'm like, Tinder, Instagram, emails, Slack, okay? That's stress. That's distractions. Go to a yoga class, you can't have your phone in there. And it's also, if you go to a heated yoga class, you're just almost get a sauna mode, you get a workout mode, and it's kind of like an all-around combination of one and a great stress reducer. So that is number 4, guys, and probably the most important thing you need as a day trader is being able to have a calm, cool, and collect mind and be cool as a cucumber when you day trade. So number 5, our final topic, and thing that you need to know, understand, and acknowledge to get started as a day trader, and that is your trading tools. Now, this is the most common question I get. Foos, what tools do you use? Foos, what broker do you use? Foos, what platform do you use? Okay, great questions. The problem is everyone starts asking these questions before they start asking, hey Foos, how do you learn how to day trade? Hey Foos, what sort of strategy should I be focusing on to make money in the stock market? Or Foos, hey, how do I learn the basics of trading psychology so that once I start day trading, I'm not freaking out about when I should buy or when I should sell? These are the questions people should be asking when they get started. But everybody thinks that there's going to be some magic tool, magic platform that's going to make them a bunch of money in the stock market. And it sucks that there's that misconception out there. But people still want to know what those tools are. So I'm not going to give you the exact brand name tools that I actually use. I will give you those, but right now I'm just going to talk about what actually you need to get started in the stock market. First, you're going to need a broker, okay? Now, whether you're from the US or from outside of the US, we are partnered with two different companies that doesn't matter, okay? That's another big common question I get is, what if I'm outside of the US? Doesn't matter, as long as you have Wi-Fi and some cash, you can open an account. And it's actually a benefit to be outside of the US. The broker that we're partnered with has more benefits than the US one because the US has a bunch of regulations. Uncle Sam coming in hot to fuck us over. But that's not the issue, okay? So a broker, all it really does is just hold your money in an account. And then it usually provides you a platform where you can execute your trades, AKA buy and sell a stock, short and cover a stock, and then you either give money away because you lost it, or you take money in from the money pool because you made it. Hopefully you're making money after you go through our courses. But if you didn't get educated, you're probably just dishing it out to other people like me and our students who are taking that money from you. So first and foremost, you need a broker. Number two, you need a charting platform. Now, a lot of your brokers are gonna have a built-in charting platform. Some of them are good, some of them are really shit. I'll give you this recommendation. This is the one I'll give you. It's TC2000. This is a company that I've been using for many, many years. It's the most fully functional, robust charting platform out there. I definitely recommend using it. I've been using it for probably almost a decade, and it's definitely the #1 charting platform out there. There'll be a link below if you want that charting platform. Number three, you're gonna need a scanning tool or a stock screener. Now, when I wake up and I come to the pre-market with my trading setup and I look at what's going on, first I'm looking at pre-market to see what actually happened, if there's any movers, news. But during the market session, I need a real-time scanner analyzing the stock market second by second, actually millisecond by millisecond, letting me know if there's any movements happen. Because typically stocks, they move on news or something. The news might come out late, but the scanner is going to pick up if there's a volume spike or something, and all of a sudden I see that opportunity before we even know why it's moving, okay? And I strictly focus on patterns, okay? I buy now, ask questions later, because I want a piece of this move, and if I see the pattern that I'm looking for, I don't give a shit about what the news is yet. I want to be first on the scene, and you need a stock scanner to make that happen. So those are the three things that you need as far as platform tools: is a broker, a charting platform, which I'll give you my freebie now, my TC2000 that I use, and then also a stock screener. Now, if you want to know actually what those are, I have a top 5 market tools that I use. It's absolutely free. All I ask is that you let me teach you in my free masterclass. There's gonna be a link in the bio below. If you come join me and you actually watch it, you're gonna, first of all, learn a bunch of stuff about kind of what our program is. And just for doing that, I'm gonna give you my top 5 trading tools and platforms that we use, whether you're from outside the US, whether you're from inside the US. It's absolutely free, and I'll give you that top 5 tools trading checklist. Now, listen guys, if you don't know kind of my intro to the stock market, I didn't make money for my first 3 years as a day trader. And that sucked. I did it while I was in college. Basically, I started my sophomore year, and by my senior year, I dropped out because I started my business and I also started making money in the stock market. But I don't want to see you go down that same path, okay? I want to see you have $70,000 months like I've had, okay? I don't want to see you go through 3 years of what the hell am I doing before you actually learn how to day trade. So that was one of the biggest mistakes that I made in the beginning. Was I tried to wing it. And the longest road to success is by winging it. Or you can learn from somebody who's actually done it before and has actually gone through all those obstacles before. And that's what I have done, and that's what I do exactly for my students, okay? And how we actually teach our students is through a 90-day program. You're gonna get Foos4 1, 2, and 3. That's learning how to swing trade, learning how to day trade, learning how to short. Then we close it off with Cloud 9, which is about 7 hours of learning trading psychology. You also get 3 days a week mentorship classes with our top trader, Michael Spinoza. Okay, so literally, you can spend 3 years of your life dicking around like I did, trying to learn to day trade, or you can spend 3 months in our program. The choice is yours, it's up to you. But anyways, guys, I really want this video just to be about free information so you guys can learn more about the opportunity of day trading and learn a lot more clarity about how to get started in day trading, okay? So I wanna hear more about what you guys thought about this video. What was your favorite part about this video? And if you wanna leave a comment below. In addition to that, what else do you want me to talk about? I would love to give as much free value for you guys on a daily basis, or not daily, I'm not a daily YouTuber, but weekly basis for you guys. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, every Monday and Friday, Michael Spinoza is gonna be live streaming on this channel, giving you guys free value, free information, free live trading. Anyways, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next episode. I'm out. Iconic Traders, Cameron Foos here. Peace. All right.